Sebring International Raceway is a road-course auto racing facility located near Sebring, Florida. Sebring Raceway is one of the oldest continuously operating racetracks in the United States, its first race being run in 1950. Sebring is one of the classic racetracks in North American sports car racing, and plays host to the 12 Hours of Sebring. The raceway occupies a portion of Sebring Regional Airport, an active airport for private and commercial traffic that was originally built as Hendricks Army Airfield, a World War II training base for the U.S. Army Air Forces. History: Sebring started life as a United States Army Air Forces training base. From 1941 to 1946, pilots learned to fly the Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress. This lineage was commemorated by a special livery on Gunner Racing's panels in the 2002 12 Hours of Sebring, resembling a World War II-era B-17 Flying Fortress. After the war, aeronautical engineer Alec Ullman, seeking sites to restore military aircraft for civilian use, saw potential in Hendricks runways to stage a sports car endurance race, similar to the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Sebring's first race was held on New Year's Eve of 1950. The Sam Collier 6-hour memorial race was won by Fritz Koster and Ralph Deschon in a Crossley hotshot that had been driven to the track by Victor Sharp. This first race attracted 30 race cars from across North America. The first 12 Hours of Sebring was held on March 15, 1952, and the event would grow to become a major international race. In 1959, the racetrack hosted the first Formula One Grand Prix in the United States. Due to the poor attendance and high costs, the next United States Grand Prix was held at Riverside. For much of Sebring's history, the track followed a 5.2 miles layout. In 1967, the Webster turn between the hairpin and the top of the track was removed and replaced with the faster Green Park chicane, which was closer to the hairpin and allowed a flat-out run through a very fast corner to the top of the track into runway. This made the circuit 50 yards longer. The circuit was also widened. Many of these changes were prompted by the 1966 12 Hours, where 5 people were killed during the race. Another dangerous section was the Warehouse Straight, after a crash where a Porsche went into one of the warehouses and into a crowd. The organizers installed a chicane to move the Warehouse Straight further away from the warehouses and buildings. In 1983, the track was changed to allow simultaneous use of the track and one of the runways. In 1987, more changes allowed use of another runway. Further changes in 1991 accommodated expansion of the airport's facilities, and brought the track close to its current configuration. The entire track could now be used without interfering with normal airport operations. In 1997, the hairpin was removed due to a lack of runoff, and replaced with what became known as the safety pin. Gendeby Bend was also reprofiled to slow the car's entry to the Ullman Straight. The track is currently leased by the Panos Motorsports Group, who acquired the facility from Andy Evans in 1997. The track is currently owned by NASCAR via its purchase of the Panos MSG in September of 2012. The track is often recognized for its famous high-speed Turn 17, a long, bumpy, fast right-hander that can make or break a car's speed down the front straight. The corner can fit up to 3 cars wide. Skip Barber Racing School holds numerous programs at the facility, including a scholarship opportunity for young racers. Track configuration: Sebring International Raceway consists of 3 tracks: the full circuit, the short circuit, and the club circuit. The course of the track itself is 3.74 miles long. It is a 17-turn road course with long straights, several high-speed corners, and very technical slower corners. Many of the turns and points along the track are named for the early teams and drivers. There is very little elevation change around the track and little camber on the surface, providing a challenging track for drivers, especially when it rains. Sebring is renowned for its rough surface. The course still runs on old sections of World War II-era landing fields that were constructed of concrete sections with large seams. The transitions between sections are quite rough and often sparks fly from the undercarriages of the cars as they traverse them. Much of the track has intentionally been left with its original concrete runway surface. The track surface has 3.04 miles of asphalt and 0.7 miles of concrete. Mario Andretti, a 3-time 12 Hours winner, said that one of the hardest parts about the original Sebring track was finding the track to begin with. There had been many accounts of drivers retiring due to accidents at night, quite simply because they got lost on the runway sections and couldn't find the track again. Some drivers got lost even during the day, mostly because the track was poorly marked down with white lines and cones. Events. Sebring is most notable for hosting the 12 Hours of Sebring, sanctioned by the FIA and IMSA, as part of many major endurance racing series, including the World Sports Car Championship, Intercontinental Le Mans Cup Arms, and now, the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. This race is the second of 4 races in the Tequila Patron North American Endurance Cup. The track also hosts the Legends of Motorsport and Historic Sports Car Racing Series, and is the winter home of the Skip Barber Racing School. Many IndyCar, sports prototype, and Grand Touring teams use Sebring for winter testing due to the warm climate. Sebring in pop culture. Sebring Raceway is featured in the video games Pit Stop 2, iRacing, The Crew, Forza Motorsport 2, Forza Motorsport 3, Forza Motorsport 4, Forza Motorsport 5, Forza Motorsport 6, Total Immersion Racing, and Sports Car GT. There are also end-user created versions for GTR2, GTI Evolution, GT Legends, R-Factor, Grand Prix Legends, and NASCAR Racing 2003 season. In board gaming, Sebring was also featured in the first expansion for the Formula D board game by Asmodee Games.